So, you want to be a magnificent Saiyan like a Sproigus, or you just want to have the same stats as a Sproigus so you too can be a boss? Well, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, because I got the hookup. I am the plug. What is up, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video. My name is OmegaPro, that's a Sproigus, and we're about to drop the hottest mixtape of 2016.
You're fucking with me.
Nah, but really though, I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos asking for the build that I've used on my Saiyan. So like, what attributes did I boost with my Saiyan? What is his build? You know what I mean? What stats am I rocking? How many more ways can I put this? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but this is gonna be what I use for a Sproigus. Now, before I get onto this, I am currently working on a bigger, better video that's going to show you the best stats you should put your stuff into, so you can actually wipe your stats with Shenron wishes. So I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that because I did not get the best build with the Sproigus. What I went for with the Sproigus was actually a very, very balanced build, as you're going to see here. So if I head over into boost attributes, this is what I'm rocking. As you can see, I haven't even put any of the rest of my attribute points. I'm level 80, by the way. But what I did first and foremost is I unlocked my potential thing with Guru, so he allowed me to have 125 Ki Blast Supers. The thing that I wanted to do with this build was, one, get through the story, and two, be able to play parallel quests and expert missions. So that's what this build is mainly for. You can see that it's a very balanced build, with the exception, of course, of Ki Blast Supers, which are at an all-time high because those are what you're going to really need, especially for those like grade A boss battles and even those expert missions. The Ki Blast Supers are going to come in major clutch. I also have basic attacks up, and I'm probably going to just put the rest into my basic attacks because why not? The way I play this game is I go in with basic attacks a lot and I'm doing combos, and then I try to finish off with the Ki Blast Super at the end of my combo. So even in emergency missions, why do I keep calling them emergency missions? I gotta get out of this. Expert missions, I will run up to, like, you know, Cooler or whoever the hell I'm fighting, and I'll start off doing some combos, and then I go into Ki Blast Supers and all that kind of stuff. And when I need to create some space, I'll go in and use some Ki Blast Supers. The reason why I don't have max stamina or max Ki or anything like that is mainly because when it comes down to PvP, that ends up getting balanced out for the most part, as long as you're not wearing like Broly's clothes like I am and that fucks you or anything like that. But generally, if I go into PvP, I'll put on a different outfit so that way it doesn't eat away at my stamina. And I also have max health, which I feel like is very, very important for parallel quests and story and stuff like that, because without that, some of the harder missions like, you know, Cooler and Frieza and stuff like that, once you get to that part in the story, they can fuck you. So you're definitely gonna need some health to withstand some stuff. But yeah, other than that, like, I think that's pretty much it. If I were to redo this again and go for like an ultimate, you know, punishing build for a Saiyan, I'd probably go max Ki Blast Supers, right? Like, I think that is what you should be doing with the Saiyan. I think that's the one constant, but other than that, I think it's really up in the air. You can go for a max Ki build too, so you max out your Ki Blast Supers and your Ki, and I think that could be very, very useful. So that way, even after using your supers and using, you know, big combos and leading into supers and stuff like that, you can still get away with a lot. So I feel like if you want to go for like a very punishing build, like max Ki, basic attacks, and supers might be what you want to go for, Ki Blast Supers, or you could even take out those basic attacks and put in strike supers, since strike supers seem very, very easy to combo into in this game. One of my favorite combos comes in with Super Dragon Fist, where you know, I'll usually start off a combo, fly or hit my opponent, fly away, chase after them, hit them back again, and then I vanish behind them, hit them with a nice stamina break, and then from there I can go into Super Dragon Fist rather, and that'll hit them down, and then I can usually sometimes even hit a ultimate off of that. So you can go for a very big like damage build like that as well. Now, the only thing that I'd say that this really isn't that useful for is if you actually play PvP without limitations. In that case, this is a whole different ball game. You know, like, I don't know exactly how that would work in that circumstance, since I always play with limitations on. So you might want to, you know, try things out yourself and see what works for you. But for me, this seems to be working very, very well. When it comes to expert missions, I'm usually always in the top of the damage dealt. Whether that's, you know, top 3, you know, 2, 1, whatever the case, I'm usually always on the board at the very least with this build, and it seems to be working out a lot for me. Now, another very important thing to take into account here is not only your attributes, but what equipment you're using. So I already said this in one of my previous videos, but this build here with my Broly's clothes, this is a huge glass cannon build. What a glass cannon is means you essentially deal a lot of damage, but you don't have much in the way of defense. So you see I put 0 points into my strike supers, so the loss to my strike supers doesn't really matter that much. The loss to my health kind of sucks because I put some points into my health, but since I did put some points into my health, I don't lose as much health as I would if I never put anything in there anyway. The major thing that sucks about this build is, of course, the lack of stamina, because you will only have room for 1 Z Vanish. So you must use that very, very wisely. If you're not using your Z Vanishes wisely, you're gonna get destroyed. So you must master how to Z Vanish. And I can say that playing with these limitations on, with the Broly clothes limiting my stamina, has helped me improve a lot as a player. But what this provides is a shit ton of ki, a shit ton of basic attack, and a shit ton of ki blast supers, which is right up my alley. I think that might be the build I end up going for, but I still have to test things out and make like an ultimate, you know, Saiyan attributes guide and stuff like that, and show you exactly what you should be putting your points into. But I feel like that would be very, very good. Another one you'll see me run a lot is Beerus's clothes. So if you go ahead and look at what this does, it does kind of what Broly does, except instead of taking away stamina, it takes away basic attacks. So now this is a different kind of build for if I'm going against like a really difficult parallel quest or something like that, I might throw this on. So that way I can have that additional stamina and I'll be able to Z Vanish and protect myself more. Because that lack of stamina can be extremely, extremely detrimental if you are not careful. So that's why sometimes I'll rock out with Beerus's clothes. But those are essentially the only like clothes that I usually use in this game. I haven't found anything else that I really, really like so far. So Beerus and Broly's clothes are definitely things that I can recommend for a similar build as mine. Another build you could go for if you like strike supers is Gogeta's clothes. Now this is going to be very useful for you pieces of shit out there that run just this combination, because this gives you a lot of strike super and a lot of ki. It does take away from your stamina and your ki blast supers, but your strike supers are going to be swinging a lot. So if you want to supplement the ki blast super build that I was talking about earlier and just throw in strike supers, you very well can, and you'll get away with it using Gogeta's clothes. But that's my Saiyan attributes video, I guess. A lot of people have been asking for this. I'm not really sure why, but here it is, guys. That's what I use, and those are, I guess, some of my tips that I can give you for building a Saiyan out and getting some good results. You know what I'm saying? I've had some good results with Asparagus thus far, and I can't really complain, but there is obviously work to be done. Anyway, what's your guys' build? What tips can you give other people? Let me know in the comment section down below. Share the wealth. Like this video if you found it useful. If I could talk, that'd be good. Subscribe here if you're new. Of course, Xenoverse 2 every day. I'm OmegaPro, and I'm out. Peace, peace.